Hello students and welcome to the lecture. So students, basically as we know that we are covering the general awareness and basically we having the topic is the medieval history. Okay, that is the topic we have here. Medieval history. Alright. So as we know that Indian history has been divided into the segments of ancient, medieval and the modern, and right now we are discussing about the medieval history. In medieval history, basically we had started the discussion over the origin of Islam, right? That was the topic we had started a discussion upon. All right. And basically in origin of Islam, we had these 5 points which we are required to cover. Okay. So far, we had discussed over the origin of Islam, social scenarios, change in society. Okay. These 3 topics have been successfully completed by us. All right. So the left out topics are politics and the economics part. All right. So I hope that you have revised the origin of Islam, social scenario and change in the society so that you could have an understanding of the upcoming lectures and the upcoming topics. Okay. So let's start. This is what we are going to study. We had completed the origin of Islam, social scenarios, change in the society. Right now, we have to talk about the political structure. Okay. Before this, let me give you a recapitulation and a general information. All right. Basically, we had discussed about the ancient Saudi Arabia. Right. What we had discussed in this? Basically, we had discussed that in ancient Saudi Arabia, there were so many tribes which were known as the Kabilas, right? Or the local tribes, all right? And they had their own deities to be followed up. Thereafter, we have Prophet Muhammad, who declared himself as a messenger of God or Rasul of God. Okay. And what he did, he unified the people. All right. And he persuaded them to do only 2 things. First, be the worshipper of God Allah, common God. And second, be the part of the community called the Ummah. All right. And in the previous lecture, basically we had come to know that they had established their bases at 2 important cities. The first one was the Medina and the second one was the Makkah. Okay. Medina was basically the administration part and Makkah was basically the religious center. Right? Got it? So basically that was the overview. All right. And then we had seen that there were so many challenges in front of them when they were expanded because the pre-established stronger tribes who were trying to suppress them. All right. And here is one thing also. What was that? Remember, I had told you, Prophet claimed that after his death, no one is allowed to take his position. That's why I had showed you the chart. At top, we have Allah. Thereafter, we have Prophet Muhammad. Okay. And then we have Khalifas, who were the deputy prophets. Deputy prophets. All right. At 1, we have the Allah. Second, Prophet Muhammad. And third, Khalifas, who were the deputy prophet. Means they are not allowed to take the position as the position had been taken by the Prophet Muhammad, but they are allowed to take the deputy position and to manage the Islamic community. All right. And basically, in initial, we have 4 Khalifas. Okay. Their name were, first one was Abu Bakr. Okay. Second one was Umar. Third one was Uthman. And the fourth one was Ali. Okay. These 4 were the Khalifas. Okay. Starting with the Abu Bakr, then the Umar, then Uthman, and then the Ali. Got it? So right now, it is the important discussion which we have done, okay, so that we could understand these points better. Okay. So first is the assassination of Uthman and rise of Ali. Okay. The assassination of the third Caliph, Uthman, resulted in Ali becoming the 4th Caliph. Okay. It means out of these 4, when he was killed, okay, then Ali got power and become the 4th Khalifa. Alright. Thereafter, deepening divisions. However, divisions amongst Muslims deepened as Ali engaged in 2 wars against representatives of the Meccan aristocracy. Alright. Basically, what we did in the previous lecture, we had discussed that there were so many communities divided in the Arabian Peninsula. Okay. So because of this, however, they all were united in the term of Muslim community, but their tradition, ethnicity and culture was quite different. Okay. So that's why the Khalifas had a responsibility to ensure that they maintain the unity and uniformity. Okay. Unity and uniformity, this is the essential thing. Got it? But what happened? The newly formed Khalifa Ali was engaged in the 2 wars, and that's why he did not pay the adequate attention towards the society, and that's how the Muslims started divided themselves. Alright. The 4th point is that emergence of Shia and Sunni sects. These conflicts gave rise to the 2 primary sects of Islam, Shias and Sunni. Ali supporters and opponents from these respective factions. Alright, Shia and the Sunni. Thereafter, 4th one, we have the victory in the Battle of Camel. Remember, Battle of Camel. It is very important. Here you can see Umayyads. We will come to know about the Umayyads in this lecture. Okay. So, Ali established his base in Kufa. Kufa is the place in the Arabian Peninsula, and achieved victory over an army led by Muhammad's wife Aisha. Okay, it means Aisha, she was the wife of Muhammad, and here is Ali. Okay, both of their armies get into the conflict in the Battle of Camel. Okay, and in this one, he was the victorious person, or you can say who win that war. Alright, so remember this thing. Despite this, he could not fully suppress the faction led by Muawiyah, a relative of Uthman and the governor of Syria. Okay, so you can say, however, Ali was succeed in winning over the Aisha, but he was not so successful in countering the Muawiyah. Okay, Muawiyah was the governor of Syria. He was the governor of Syria, and he was also the relative of Uthman. Okay, and who was Uthman? We know he was the 3rd Caliph. Okay, so remember these points which I have shared with you right now. Alright. Thereafter, let's move forward. Then we have establishment of the Umayyad dynasty. In 661, Muawiyah, the first Umayyad Khalifa, succeeded Ali and founded the Umayyad dynasty, okay, which lasted until 750. Okay, in the previous slide, I had shown you Ali succeeded over the Aisha, but not able to counter the Muawiyah. As a result, that was the year of 661, when Muawiyah overthrown Ali. Okay, and this led to the establishment of which dynasty? Umayyad dynasty. And the Umayyad dynasty lasted till how many years? Till 750 AD. Okay. Muawiyah moved the capital to Damascus. Damascus nowadays is the capital of Syria. Okay. And adopted the court custom and administrative structures of the Byzantine Empire. Byzantine is a Christian empire. Okay, so remember these points. Muawiyah was the founder of Umayyad dynasty, who was the governor of the Syria. Okay, he overthrew the Ali and succeeded the caliphate and then formed the Umayyad dynasty. Okay, he moved the capital to Damascus, and for customs and the administration, he adopted the structure of the Byzantine Empire, which was the Christian empire on that time. Alright, now let's move forward. Thereafter, we have the Abbasid revolution. Okay, so far we had completed the Umayyad politics. Now we have the Abbasid revolution. What was that? In 750, a well-organized movement called Dawa successfully overthrew the Umayyad dynasty. Umayyad dynasty formed in 651. Umayyad dynasty formed. Okay. Then 750 was overthrown. Okay. And who overthrown them? Abbasids in the movement called Dawa. Okay. They were replaced by the Abbasids, another family of Meccan origin, who were descendants of Abbas, the Prophet's uncle. Okay. So remember these things. That person, Muawiyah, or you can say the Umayyad dynasty, was having the Syrian origin because he was the governor of Syria. Okay. It's just for your memory purpose. It's not necessary and not absolute, I'm claiming, but it is generally for the distinguishing. Okay. Thereafter, the Abbasids. Okay. Abbasids were having the Meccan origin. Alright. Remember, Umayyad founders were relatives of Uthman. Whereas Abbasids founders were descendants of Prophet's uncle. Okay, so remember these 2 points. Got it? About the Abbasid revolution, please remember the movement run by them. It is very, very important. Okay. Thereafter, Abbasid revolution, Abbasid dynasty's establishment. Okay. The Abbasids officially assumed power in 750 with the foundation of the Abbasid dynasty being established by the Abu al-Abbas. Okay. So remember this thing. It was a year of 750. That was the movement called Dawa, in which they overthrown the Umayyad dynasty and established the Abbasid dynasty, and the founder name was Abu al-Abbas. He was the founder. Okay. Shift in the cultural influence. During the Abbasid rule, there was a noticeable decline in Arab influence, accompanied by a growing significance of Iranian culture. Remember, there are three types of cultures in the Muslim world. First is the Arabian culture. Okay. Thereafter, Turkish culture, and then comes the Iranian or Persian culture. Okay. So basically what happened during the Abbasid rule, what happened? The Arabian culture was declined. Okay. And the Iranian culture was emerged. Okay. Arabian culture declined, Iranian culture was emerged. All right. So this was the shift in culture influence. Okay. It means right now the people's culture is expanding, going outside from the Arabian Peninsula to the other religions as well. All right. Thereafter, capital in Baghdad. Baghdad nowadays a capital of Iraq. Okay. Baghdad. The Abbasids established their capital in Baghdad, which became a central hub of their rule and culture. Okay. Here remember the thing. Prophet established the capital at Medina. Okay. Thereafter, Umayyad's capital were Damascus. Okay. And then Abbasid's capital was, which was the capital? Baghdad. Okay. So this is the important point to be remembered. Okay. They shifted the capital to the Baghdad. Okay. All right. Then comes the 9th century decline. The 9th century marked the gradual decline of the Abbasid Empire, eventually leading to the emergence of several sultanates in the region. All right. Like what happened? Suppose that is the entire region. Okay. In this entire region, there was a Abbasid Empire. Okay. And this empire having a control in every direction. All right. But as the 9th century approached, their influence was getting declined. Okay. And due to this, what happened? A new sultanate started to be formed off. All right. So that is known as the 9th century decline. Okay. Thereafter, we have the disintegration. Okay. Disintegration of the caliphate and emergence of the sultanate. Right now, what we have happening? We having the deputies of prophet. It means that the person who will be the Khalifa, he will be the deputy of prophet, and he is required to maintain the entire Islamic world. But thereafter, most probably after the 9th century, there was an emergence of sultanate, the sultan and the king. Okay. And the you can say administration or the authority of caliphate started to be declined off. Okay. Starting from the 9th century, the Abbasid state began to weaken. This was due to a decline in the Baghdad's control over distant provinces and conflicts that arose between factions in the army and the bureaucracy, some of which were pro-Arab while others were pro-Iranian. Like, what was happening? First of all, there was a shift from Arabian to Persian. Okay, there was a shifting in capital. All right, and because of this, there you can say control over the outside area. Suppose this is the area they are having their capital there. So at the outside regions, they were weakening their control. Okay, because of this, there was a formation of new dynasties. All right. Second thing is that within their bureaucracy and army, there was a conflict. How? Some of them are advocating the Arabian culture, while some of them are showing the loyalty to the Persian culture. Okay, because of this, there was a weakening of the empire, which eventually leads to the disintegration. Okay, in 810, a civil war erupted between Amin and Mamun, who were the sons of Caliph Harun al-Rashid. Okay, between the 11th and the 13th century, a series of conflicts occurred involving European Christian and the Arab state. Like I had told you, or if not, then I'm telling you right now, it is the Jerusalem. Okay, this city having the religious preference for Christians, for Muslims, for Jewish. Okay, all the three religions having the religious significance in this city. All right, and because there was a you can say confluence of the European rulers who were the Christians and the Arabian rulers who were the Muslims. Okay, because of this, there was a wars between them, which is famously known as the Crusades, or you can call them Holy War, or in Arabs we call them Jihad. Okay, this is because to capture the Jerusalem and the nearby area. Okay, the religion who had the control on Jerusalem will process the religious significance. All right, so because of this, the European Christians and the Arab states had come into the conflicts, which is known as the Crusade, Holy War, or Jihad, whatever you can say. All right. Thereafter, now after finishing the politics part, means this part also, now we have left with the economics part. Okay, so let's start with the economics part also. Okay, so this is the economics part. Agriculture. During the medieval period, the economic conditions of the Islamic world were notably prosperous. Agriculture stood as the primary occupation for the settled populations in the Arab territories newly conquered by Arabs. Okay, so you can say, as I have told you, before the Islam, when the Jahiliyyah period was there, actually, what was happening? There was a population segmentation. Okay, and also there was a raiding and looting activities. Okay, so the economic growth was very concentrated on that time. But after the establishment of the Islamic world or the community, when the people come together and started using the resources, thereafter they got the planned settled populations on the new territories which were conquered by the Arabians. Okay, and thereafter they captured the place and then they started agriculture and other economic activities. So due to this, they had the prosperous immunity. Okay, the lands that remained in the possession of their owners among those conquered by the Arabs were subjected to a tax known as kharaj. Okay, so suppose if this is an agricultural land. Okay. And this is the Arabian conquered territory. Okay. And this person is basically the non-Arab. So if the non-Arab person having the agricultural land on the territory which has been occupied or conquered by the Arabians, then this person is supposed to pay the tax which is known as the kharaj. Okay. The tax rate varied ranging from half to a fifth of the produce depending on the conditions of the cultivation. If the cultivation was good, the tax was higher. Cultivation was not good, the tax will lower. Alright. But remember the tax name kharaj and who is liable to pay this. Okay. Thereafter, as non-Muslims began converting to Islam to benefit from lower taxes, this resulted in a reduction in the state's income. To address this shortfall, the caliphs initially discouraged conversions and later adopted a uniform taxation policy. Why? Because suppose the non-Muslim people paying the high taxes, okay, whereas the Muslim people paying the low taxes. Okay. So because of this, the non-Muslims started to get converted into the Muslim. And when the tax revenue declined, the state income was declined. Okay. Due to this, the Khalifas discouraged the conversion. It means that non-Muslim could not be converted into Islam easily. But thereafter they realized that if they want to sustain their newly formed religion, they required a people. And for this, the conversion is essential. So that's why to overcome this, they started the uniform taxation policy. Okay. Thereafter, we have agricultural prosperity and political stability went hand in hand, contributing to the overall economic well-being of the Islamic world. Okay. Islamic laws included provision from tax concession to individuals who brought previously uncultivated land under cultivation, incentivizing agriculture development. Like if there was a land which was barren and if you started the agriculture on this, then you will get some benefit and tax payment. Secondly, if you are doing the cultivation very good, then you will get the incentives from the state as an agriculture development. Alright. Thereafter, the urbanization. The Islamic cultivation witnessed remarkable growth as the number of cities expanded significantly because of the economic prosperity. Economic prosperity. Okay. Thereafter, within this category of garrison cities known as Misr, the Arabic term of Egypt, prominent examples including Kufa and Basra in Iraq as well as Fustat and Cairo in Egypt. Like, suppose this is the city. This entire is a city. Okay. So this city will be fortified from all the directions in order to prevent it from any foreign attack. Okay. And this is basically known as the Misr, or you can say garrison or fortification. Alright. And the prominent examples are Kufa and Basra in Iraq, Fustat and Cairo in Egypt. Okay. Thereafter, these cities experienced substantial growth in both size and population, thanks to an increase in the production of essential commodities like food grains, cottons and sugars, which supported urban manufacturing. Alright. This remarkable expansion led to the development of an extensive urban network connecting one town to another and forming a comprehensive circuit. Because of the urbanization, they had to establish the communication lines making the transportation. And because of this, if this is a town A, this will be a town B. This will be town C. This will be town D. Okay. So there was a complementation. All right. Thereafter, urbanization. Now we have the commerce field. Okay. The expansion of political unity and rising urban demand for essential goods and luxury items led to the enlargement of the trade network. Because when the people are experiences the economic prosperity, they starting demanding the luxury and essential goods. Because of this, the trade was expanding, which was very limited during the Zahiliya period. Okay. Geographically, the Muslim Empire enjoyed a favorable position, spanning trading zones between the Indian Ocean and the Mediterranean. Okay, and these both were important and busy trading routes. Even today, they having a significance in the foreign trade. Okay. Thereafter, for a span of 5 centuries, Arab and Iranian traders held a monopoly over the maritime trade routes connecting China, India, and Europe because of the position between the Mediterranean, which is a gateway of Europe, and the Indian Ocean, which is the gateway of India and China. Okay, and they were in the middle. So that's why they were enjoying the monopoly or autonomy. This trade routes primarily transferred to two major paths, the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf. Okay. Thereafter, high value commodities ideal for long distance trade, including spices, textiles, porcelain, and gunpowder, were transported from India and China to Red Sea ports of Aden and Adiyab, as well as Gulf ports of Siraf and Basra. Okay, so these were the commodities which were being trading through these trade routes. Okay, so with this, basically, we had finished the Islamic Empire. Okay, which means that we had covered all the topics: origin of Islam, social scenario, change in society, politics, and the economics part. Okay, so I request you all kindly revise all of them properly so that you could have a understanding of the concept in a proper manner. Okay, and with this note, thank you.